So this is the GTO where it sits right now in the process of the building. Just kind of wanted to go over a couple things that we've done. We've skinned this quarter, so we cut this quarter out and replaced it. We took off the drip rail on the roof here. We got rid of the door handles. Got rid of all the trim holes because we're going to end up blending all of that in, so there's no trim on the bottom there. Used a shrinker and replaced a lot of the metal around the windowsill. We've pretty much blended the rear tail lights into the fenders there. We sandblasted the entire interior, exterior, did all the metal work. We started doing some rough body work and got it ready for 3D scanning. So we're just finishing with 3D scanning at the moment. You can see all the little white stickers on the inside of the car everywhere. What this is going to do is going to provide a great way for us to lay out the engine and the transaxle, roll cage, dash, center console, you name it. I mean, our goal with the car is right here in the rear, we're going to actually make a custom bumper with diffuser panels and exhaust outlets. And so we're going to get the scan data, and then we're going to develop a 3D CAD CAM program in there, and then cut the negative out of that and make the part out of the negative. And we'll do the same on the interior. That's why we've got the interior basically gutted at this point. So we've basically gutted the interior, took the dash out. We're gonna make a custom interior. We're gonna make it look like an Aston Martin inside of this 67 GTO. And it's basically a whole new realm of what we can do with a hot rod. I mean, it's bringing us to like OE status with what Albert here can do for us. So it's pretty cool.
Okay, so basically for this project, what we're using is a red laser-based 3D scanner, and we're going to digitize this car. And in order to do that, what we've done is put a lot of these markers or targets for scanning. What that does is that helps us align each individual 3D scan of the car. What we're doing is that we scan the car, and the entire car is composed of about maybe 200 to 300 different shots individually. And so for each shot that we take, it covers an area that maybe, a foot and a half, maybe like about 2 feet wide. And so the markers are there to help us align all the different shots together. And at the end, when we merge all the data together, we get this car in 3D.
So what type of equipment are you using there, basically?
We're using a Honda Minolta Vivid 9i. This is their top-of-the-line scanner for general purpose. We've had this for about 4 years, and produces really good results. It comes with 3 different types of lenses. There's a wide-angle lens for scanning really large objects from really far away, but it produces not the best results. The data is not accurate. So the further away you are from the object you're scanning, the less accurate the data is. There's a middle range lens, and then there's a telephoto lens for high res, closer work for about, if you're scanning an object from about maybe 500 to 600 millimeters away.
So basically, this scans it and it sends a zillion points to the computer.
Yes.
And
what we're doing is that when each scan, what we're doing is actually we're catching the laser. It sends out a horizontal beam of laser that sweeps over the area that you are scanning, and the laser bounces back to the sensor in the camera, and it's a rangefinder, and it builds a point cloud of points in 3D space that represents the object that you're trying to scan. And if you have more points, it means more resolution, which means more detail and a more accurate representation of the object you're trying to scan. Versus, if it's a low You know, low point cloud, low resolution, less accuracy.
About how many points roughly do you think you actually pick up on a car like this, like scanning?
Well, this is a fairly large object. I mean, you know, we've scanned little maquettes, you know, 6-scale human-sized maquettes. That will be typically around 2 million, 3 million points, which is, it translates to about fairly high res. That would be maybe about 200 megabytes worth of data. I mean, we're expecting on this car, I think finally when it's merged, right now we've scanned about half of this car. There are areas that we're missing, but we've already acquired about 1.3 gigabytes worth of data, and we're not even done scanning it, so we haven't even started with the interior yet. So, but you know, at the end of the day, when we're done merging and cleaning, you know, we'll probably end up with an exterior file about maybe 300 megabytes or so, and interior probably, you know, based on what I see, maybe 200, 150 megabytes.
So, but really, at 1.3 gigabytes, that's probably along the lines of like, shit, how many million points do you think that is? You know?
I mean, I can't even guess
a lot.
Math right now. It's a whole
stars in the sky kind of thing, you know?
I mean, typically, you know, from past experience, a 200 megabyte file is about 3 million points.
Yeah. Crazy. Crazy. Okay, so this is the actual laser scanning tool. This is a portable unit, but there's various units that Albert actually uses. This particular unit is a Minolta Vivid. What is it? Okay. Yeah, this is a Vivid 9i. This is close to $90,000 just for this machine right here. Pretty nuts. But I mean, it's basically going to transform the way we actually can build cars, because we can actually recreate the actual surface, and then we can model parts off of that. So, I mean, the sky's the limit. It's like getting a welder for the first time when you were a kid. I mean, this is like the Wild West of building things in the hot rod world.
You know, we use that Minolta for the outside, and then we use this handheld system. Basically, you hold it, it's hooked up to the computer with a USB cable. It weighs about 7 pounds, so after a while it does seem heavy. But, you know, this lets us get into the tight corners inside the car that we can otherwise do with the Minolta. And
so it's basically the mini version to get into little tight areas.
Yeah.
Let me see what that actually looks like on that. Can we get a close up there? What's the difference in the colors there? What is the purpose of that? Or actually, no, they're the same. It's just the way the light reflects to it.
Yeah.
Huh. What does something like that cost?
This was all brand new. I got this one used. This was a demo from a dealer. 3 years ago, this thing brand new was close to 60 grand.
Yeah.
Just imagine dropping this, right? I have nightmares, man. I have nightmares about me working on a job in a desert somewhere, and then this thing, I dropped this thing. You know, I got it used for about 30.
Yeah, wow. Sure, and then basically you take, data from that unit, and then you overlap data from the small unit onto that unit into areas that you can't get.
Right.
And that'll basically paint the whole picture for you.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, my name's Jason Rollins. I'm helping Alfred here. This is software called GeoMagics. What we're trying to do, what you see before you, is the sections of the scan which I've taken. These are all the separate files that we've taken thus far, and what I'm trying to do is basically, it's like a big jigsaw puzzle. The idea being that each of the scans come in the origin, and they don't know about their neighbor. So my job is to take each scan and trim off what you call floaters, the bits and bobs of the scan which we don't need, which don't make up any feature in particular, and then align them with respect to each other to complete the picture. And that's what I'm doing. It's some would say it's a bit tedious, but it's kind of cool seeing the picture develop as you do. And then you've also got to make sure that the normals are the right way around, and that's what you saw just now with the difference between this blue and this yellow appearance. So the whole idea is I piece the scan together and make sure I'm looking for similar features of the scan where they're overlapped. So if I've got a scan where I've sort of painted it with a roller, if you like, I picked up a section of the door panel, the neighboring part of the door panel has got one of those features in it. So then I can tell the computer, say, from here to here, from here to here, from here to here, and then it aligns those three points and says, okay, well, they're close enough, and then I merge the scan together, so I've got then one big block of polygons, and then that's how the process continues as we go around the model.